Sure.
All right, we're back. We're back for the third and final part of Once Upon a Game, episode 7, where we're exploring Atlas by, I forgot the author's name. Tom something. Tom Fent.
Yes, Tom
Tom Fent,
Fent.
I'm right. Tom Fent. I just had to look at the PDF real quick. So, Tom Fent, I've had the pleasure of meeting Tom one time. He's a cool guy. So, we are back and we are exploring the crazy megalopolis Stargate universe of a mega city that's thrown and sprawled through different planets through the use of Stargates as like massive access points, as well as some other cool space stuff. Going forward, I think Kelsa, you are going to go.
Yeah, I had an idea, and it's pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited. Oh, jeez. I ruined everything.
Oh, you're okay.
No, not really. Okay. Yeah. Um, so up here, just on the edge between the galactic center and the black void,
Well, as you do.
as you do, there is a planet that is not connected to any of the stargates.
Oh.
But assuming I can draw, and that's a pretty big assumption here, guys. It may start to look familiar. Oh, come on. Roll20, get with the program.
Trying to make it green. Trying to make North America.
Maybe. Shush.
I see Florida. That's why.
That's not quite what... okay, I see. The color is just too light to show up. I need to pick a darker color. Oh, come...
Oh, that's way too far. I messed up.
Well, now I can't select anything, and I can't move around, so...
That's what we get.
We'll just imagine that that planet is Earth. And humans came from that planet a long time ago, but it's been forgotten. And no one went back there and built a Stargate. And so it has kind of devolved in a way. Like there's still there is something definitely wonky with my Roll20. I do not know what's going on. I think it's going to crash. Yeah, so anyway, it's tiny, tiny planet out there. It's old Earth, and it's got no space gates.
I like the idea as a detail that it wasn't. It's been forgotten now, but what originally the reason why it doesn't have a warp gate is because the warp gate was destroyed.
Ooh, and it had one, and then it got destroyed. I like it.
Or maybe they found a warp gate on Mars or something weird like that. But the warp gate that connected all of this back to Earth was destroyed for some reason.
Okay.
And it's been forgotten. Like that fact has even been forgotten.
Oh my god. Check this out. Just to tie this back in. So I made the remark that what's his name? The Jovian Push, led by Conrad Venkman, who's a human. They're looking for Old Earth. But they're looking in the wrong spot.
Oh, nice.
So Old Earth is the true end goal for the Council of Discovery.
Yeah. Now, and this might just be a slight, like, if I could add another detail.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
And this might add
It looks more Earth-like now.
throw a wrench into things. Where what this takes place in, this whole thing, is modern day, like right now.
I'm moving myself over on screen so people can see the super cool Earth that you made.
My super cool.
I'm putting myself over here for now.
Oh yeah, because your
Or
head
down
was
here.
on top of it.
Yeah, my head was blocking it.
Yep.
Cool. So what was the detail? I'm sorry.
This is current day.
This is a map of 2015.
Oh, this is a map. Oh my God. Star Crash is real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. That's some Battlestar Galactica shit.
Yeah. And to further mess things up, because it's the end of it's the dramatic conclusion, so we need dramatic. So reports are starting to come in of a, like, even larger than, like, 10,000 ship fleet coming out of the warp storms to the galactic south. Like huge fleet of ships, but even greater than 10,000. But they look like they're Jovian ships.
Oh.
And they're coming out of a warp storm, and like no one's made direct contact with them yet, but you can see them approaching. Mysterious and what is a good name for it? And they're broadcast. The one thing that we haven't been able to reach them, but they're broadcasting a signal. What is a name for, like, explorers or like and it's like the broadcast, they're called the Terranautica.
Oh, love it.
And like there's a broadcast signal that's like, we are the Terranautica. We have been caught in a warp storm. Like, we are in need of assistance. Like, we are the Terranautica. We've been caught in a warp storm. We are in need of assistance. Like,
ooh, okay.
Is what this message that's been broadcast out.
I have a detail. The arrival and broadcasting of the Terranautica is physically disturbing Le Fin.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, like that's probably how they found out about this signal.
It's like Finn's getting a headache or something.
Yeah, like Finn was the first reaction to it, and then we realized it was a signal.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a signal that, like, it was not on anyone's normal, like, bandwidth.
No. Might have something to do with the warp storm.
Yeah. Oh, and like what I meant, so they're Jovian ships, but they're like the Jovian ships that are currently being like they're the kinds of Jovian ships that are currently being built. Like,
yeah, like some weird fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time travel shenanigans.
Yeah, that's totally what I'm going for. Is that this is like a lost expedition from the future that has gotten to the past.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no,
I'm
no,
all
I'm
for
feeling
it. I'm
that.
all for it.
I definitely am feeling that. That's the detail I'm gonna add. Just nail that one on the head.
Yeah.
One of the current um one of the current Jolvian like students or apprentices like recognizes their own voice
Oh,
as the person giving
broadcasting.
the broadcast. Like once they like are able to decode it or whatever, it's like that's that's me. That's my voice.
Oh,
Oh wow, I like it. I like it.
Let's give this a name. Sure. It's um a a woman of whatever the coyote race that runs people through Doril's wall is. We didn't give that race a
no, you
name.
did. You did give
Did
him a
we?
name.
We
I
give him
have
a
it.
name? Oh my gosh, I'm naming things left and right now. It's the same race. Where's the notes?
The Bing lore.
A Binglor, yes. Okay. So it's a female Binglor. Um, and yeah, her name um was Leighton. Um, like like
Like the ton.
no, like Leighton,
Oh.
but Leighton.
Oh, got it. Got it. Okay.
It's all one
Yeah,
word.
it's not like LE space TONNE.
No,
Okay,
no.
late. It's like Leighton, but pronounced
It's
Laton. Yeah, got it.
exactly.
Got
It's
it.
probably even spelled Leighton,
Mm.
and people who
Okay.
anyway, it's her voice.
Um, I want to do just a district on the hub.
Okay.
And I'm going to call it. It's not even a district. It's it's called Lovers Walk. If anyone's been to New York, downtown New York, there's a thing called the Skyway, which is sort of like an elevated pedestrian platform.
Yeah.
That's like also like part garden, and that's what I imagine what Lovers Walk is like as well. I imagine like this sort of like romantic, maybe basically imagine a sky boardwalk in a way. You know what I mean? Like everybody kind of walks around it. It's supposed to be quote unquote romantic. And it's like, it's got like probably like Ferris wheel lights around in different parts, like, or like Christmas lights that, do that sort of like stringy around. And
Mm-hmm.
it has that sort of like nice little kind of feel to it.
Hmm.
'Cause that's what I like. I like the nice little sentimental things. So, happy little walk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is the only place on the hub where there are actual um like plants.
Oh, okay.
Like there's like a literal garden and like potted plants and stuff, but it's
Mm.
the entirety of the hub other than like maybe like a shop that specializes in selling plants. This is the only place where there's like specifically like a garden or any kind of
Foliage.
foliage. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'd say that it's also the only place that doesn't have doors.
Oh, yeah. No, totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
darn sentient door.
Totally. Totally. Um, That's awesome. Okay. Okay. Let's all do like one more thing and then wrap up and discuss the game.
Okay.
Sure.
So it's getting to be 11:40. All right.
Okay.
Thinking of something.
Tell me something good.
Okay, I've got it. I got a thing.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
It's called The Catch. And what it is someone has set up a giant like net kind of that is basically just a huge uh warp gate in space that like that picks up asteroids and like then have them hit into um a place that they can be processed.
Oh, I get it.
So like you're like drag fishing but for asteroids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
I like
dragon.
it.
Yeah. Um. Uh. Hmm. I got it. I got one. The net killed Le Fin's only offspring.
It's the catch.
It got caught in the net.
Poor LaFin.
I know. I'm ruining Le Fin's life. I'm so sorry, Le Fin. The space dragon whale. Oh, it's called the catch. Thank you.
A net, but it's called the catch.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna add a detail. Is the populace only thinks that it killed the Finn's only offspring. In actuality, they like there's a group basically saved them and has been keeping them and raising them to essentially replace the Finn when they die.
Wow.
Mm.
I would call it Baby Le Fin.
But like,
Awesome.
but nobody knows that even happened. Like it is like it's no. If they've been doing it completely in secret, it's not like big government conspiracy. Like it's like if
It's like Five Guys.
yeah, yeah.
Um.
It's just literally the crew of the Swan Song.
Yeah, it probably is the crew of the Swan Song, actually.
Yeah.
Um.
Uh,
All right. Hmm. I'm gonna add a planet. Or actually, no, it's not a planet. I'm gonna add a no, there's gonna be a planet. That is called. Oh my god. Yeah, where am I gonna add it? Oh, it's gonna be near the void. And it's called, to keep with it going, Le Mort.
Where? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Is the name of the planet. And this is a giant like moratorium, sepulcher, crematorium like planet. Like it is essentially where the people of this like mega city go to die. Um, like you either are cremated, you are buried, your ashes are sent into the great void. Like yeah, it's they've organized, and this is the and
Oh.
there's a race of people who like worship death. Like, and I'm thinking
Oh
like
yeah.
think of like Anubis.
Can I build on that?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I was actually thinking of like Speakers for the Dead kind of thing.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
But yeah, like it's home to a uh, pan gate. Is that a word? Pan gate? I don't know.
Sure,
uh,
it is now.
pan gate religion. Um, so it's like a holy site
yeah,
and holy site to a pan gate religion about last rites. I guess I should say.
yeah. And it's just the speakers.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all about death and like whichever way you want to go, they'll help you out and like honor in like an honorable way.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mostly
Mostly
honorable.
honorable way. If
Because
you have coin.
because you see, this connects very literally and directly to the wastes on Gurmesh, because there are a number of mm, I'm trying to think of the right word. Yeah, people who live on Lamort who are not members of that religion, although they claim to be, who might they're more pragmatic, let's say. They perform all the rituals and so forth, but maybe you wanted to be buried with a dragon hoard's worth of treasure, and actually that all just goes into their pocket or gets sold in the gray market.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a pretty loosely tied organization um with several bad apples in
Yeah.
the wastes.
Yeah. Like you can basically just say you're a speaker, and I like the idea that we're gonna go with the speaker of the dead or speaker for
Hmm.
the dead. Like you can just say you're a speaker for the dead,
And
and
nobody can question that. It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's an honor based system, and in every honor based system, there's gonna be some bad apples.
totally. I
And
like
for
it.
my thing, I'm gonna make an addition to the wastes.
Ooh.
And there are a bunch of these like pot marks, and the pot marks in the waste are actually basically how can I phrase it? Um, they are like they're basically like monster dens, sort of like a creature that lives on Gurmesh that since people are the bad apples of the religion are improperly disposing the bodies, they are eating the bodies, and they're like getting like hungrier and they're spreading out more. And I think I'm gonna call them uh, I'm terrible at names for aliens at this hour. Um,
It's not even midnight. Get your shit together.
I think I'm just gonna call it. They're just called the bugs because I don't know. I don't have. I can't think of
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
So under the wastes, once I find the wastes, yep. Um, the bugs population has exploded recently due to improper burials done by the death religion.
All right. Um, I like to think that it's like they're called the bugs not because they're not like one singular species. Like it is just a bunch of these huge colonies of space insects of various like species. Like so, there's beetles, there's worms, there's all these kinds of things that have been consuming these people, and like they're just
Carrion eaters. Yeah.
yeah, carrion eaters.
Just
Uh,
like insect carrion eater. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I want to say they're actually not all insectoid. That is a slanderous lie, as Grimesh is actually like the home planet of the Binglor, the insectoid race of coyotes that
Ah.
transport people. This is actually their home planet.
Oh wait.
And
So
so
so I understand what you're saying then. Um, the not all bugs are eating the are carrying. Wait, the bugs are
no,
carrying
no,
and eating
stop.
insects, but not all insects are the bugs.
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that they're called the bugs, but they're not actually the insectoids. Like
Okay.
like on planet Earth, like insectoids are insects are carrion whatever. But on a planet where the dominant species is an insectoid race,
Yeah.
the they may have like some shittiness aspects, but they're less insectoid than the insectoid aliens,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
even though they're
Right.
called the bugs.
And the
Like,
bugs is like a derogatory, like they're called the bugs because people are kind of derogatory towards the Bingalore.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're like, oh, like they're the bugs like you.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that twist. Yeah, I love that
yeah.
twist.
No,
Yeah, there's a
that's what I'm going at.
it's a pejorative.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I
yeah,
think that's it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not
that's
Okay.
all,
good.
So
not all bugs.
11:50. Um, cool. So that's a good. Yeah, not all bugs. Um, so let's spend the last few minutes just talking about the game, decompressing a little bit, what we liked, what we didn't like, etc.
This was
Um,
a lot of fun. It was very interesting to see where it was going to go.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mentioned to Eric every time I played this game with the creator once,
Mm-hmm.
and like that was a fairly solid game where we kind of like determined something and then we built it, and what it looked like ended up like kind of how I envisioned it to begin with. But like every game since then, what I envision at the very start of the game is not what ends up getting up on the map, which I think is super interesting.
Yeah. This wasn't at all what I was thinking it was gonna happen.
Yeah, I love this. Like this is
Yeah.
fantastic. But it's that weird thing of like I think the more people you add, the more like um
Oh yeah. Well, this is a game. What I would say is, and I think I know what you're saying is like this game is basically Microscope with no lens and
right.
like no focus. You just get everything. Um, so yeah, it does work, but but I guess in a way, this game purposely doesn't want you to focus on things. I mean, you're supposed to take different ideas in different directions, but it's also kind of like less forceful than Microscope, and I think that's deliberate.
Yeah, no, this game shines when it can get the players to like start riffing off of each other and
Yeah,
essentially break the rules of the game and just start building together. Like
I mean, as you saw, that's exactly what we did. Um,
yeah,
oh
like
yeah, definitely. And
yeah,
I definitely feel like we each had some ideas, and then we saw certain things in other people's ideas, stuff that we wouldn't have even considered. Like the idea of like Vekman's folly, like that was like already part of a spiral, but like it spiraled further from that. It was just
oh yeah, I love that. That was one of my favorite parts. And so Leavington, as always, has awesome stuff in the chat.
mhm.
Um, his favorite part was the duality of map and encyclopedia. And that's something I actually didn't talk about, that how there is this encyclopedia thing, and we kind of just went along with it. Which, sorry. Um, but yeah, what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of the map encyclopedia detail kind of thing?
I love it because I think that like if we're just doing a map and we didn't keep track of anything, we would probably get something similar to this, but we would be less likely to go back, like you did, to go back to the wastes and do
Yeah.
something.
Oh, totally, totally.
Or
I
like
think
when I was like, "Hey, did I name that alien race in the very first like pass that we
Exactly,
did?"
exactly.
Yes, you did. Oh, cool. Then let's reuse that race name because I totally forgot what it was.
right, and it gives you also, I think one of the, and I talk about this with any game that makes you draw,
Hmm.
for the vast majority of people, is a terrifying prospect because they're like nearly everyone I've ever met is very nervous about their drawing skills.
Oh, totally, totally.
And what the encyclopedia allows you to do is it allows you to like just have icons,
It's a
or
release valve.
yeah, it's a release valve because you can just put something on the map and then detail it in the encyclopedia. You don't need to draw out a sprawling cityscape. You can
Mm.
just say this thing, this square is a sprawling
Yeah, I was gonna say
cityscape.
this rectangle with the words "all tier district" written in it.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
that's exactly what this is.
right. But that's good
Yeah.
because like I think if you're making players draw something, everyone gets nervous. Everyone is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bad at drawing."
I
It's like,
think
no, yeah,
I think the addition of the encyclopedia makes this game fun and more playable online than it would
Hmm.
otherwise be,
yeah,
because of just how kind of limited Roll20 is in terms of like being a collaborative art platform. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Compared to just a shared sheet of paper and some pencils and pens.
right,
In
right.
space, your control and what you can draw is definitely hampered.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, I really like LeFin. That was really interesting. I didn't expect that.
No, no, I
Um,
didn't.
I also like the crack a lot. I also like the high war. I mean, I liked a lot of this. I liked all of it actually.
Yeah,
Um, I think
I
overall,
enjoyed
yeah,
Terra Nautica.
yeah, I really like Terra Nautica. That's a great name. Um, I was super pleased with just how we were able to take sometimes like popular or like cliche type things and run with them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like I know I was joking in a way that I hope it didn't sound condescending, because that's not what I was trying to do. Like Vespian Gassive being like a StarCraft like
Oh yeah,
Right.
no, it
reference, but
totally,
like
it
yeah,
totally was.
but that's good in a way. Like to grab something that, from like, at least if you know at least another player has a
Mm-hmm.
touchstone with that, it's like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's used for industry. I'm thinking now of all the different StarCraft units and advanced and all that kind of random crap. I'm
Yeah,
like thinking of that in terms of that. Um, yeah, it's like it's a way of communicating in a way. That's why you shouldn't be afraid of using kind of cliche things. You can, because they're that all that means is that it's a shared idea already prepackaged that's
Mm-hmm.
easy to riff off of in another person's brain.
oh exactly, yeah. Like that's why I had like the hive worlds and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I could just say hive world, and you, unless I'm talking about a planets full of bug people, like
Hmm.
I'm talking about just like
Yeah.
sprawling cityscapes and
Yeah.
things like that.
So like Nick Nick in chat mentions, yeah, tropes are great fallbacks just because they're reliable and familiar, and I
Mm-hmm.
completely agree. Like, embrace that. It's a nice safety net when you're playing these story games, when you're literally given just like a free reign to create something. It's a way to ground yourself and come up with a solid idea, instead of just being lost to like total creativity panic, I guess.
Total creativity panic is a real thing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
when you're given just anything to invent, it's really hard. Like I for one need constraints.
Yeah,
yeah,
which is yeah. I've talked about this. I talked about this the last game I was on. Is like I almost always am in favor of more and more creative constraint because you can't just think of something
Yeah.
like and it's so much harder to come up with an idea when it has to be your idea. If you have to struggle against something, it'll give you that.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
exactly. And I know I was saying earlier, you're like, oh, you just throw some syllables together and it sounds like an alien word. It's because I do like a lot of like improv theater, and that's why you get a suggestion in improv theater because one, it means that your audience knows that you're actually making stuff up based on what they said. But secretly, it's because if you're making something up off the top of your head, you don't even know where you're going to go with this. So if you get that idea from the audience, you're like, okay, we're going to use this word and whatever it makes me think of, we're just going to go from there. But that means that I've got one word
Mm.
that I'm coming up with ideas from instead of every word I've ever known in
Or
English or
encountered
any.
or remember. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. But and that's why I added the no megacorporations part to the palette
Mm-hmm.
because that kept coming up when I was trying to think of something. Like when I made the Vespian Rush, like I was like, I drew this thing, and I immediately my brain went to, oh, it's just like a giant megacorporation thing. But
But
then I was like,
no,
but no, it doesn't. So then I was
it's
like,
a challenge. Yeah.
right, it challenged me to come up with a
Um,
new thing.
I think that was a really good palette addition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just how I mean, I think the ethnic factions thing was a great palette addition because we played that to like we beat that pretty hard.
And I like that. Like
Yeah,
I definitely kept looking up at that and going, I want to make something, but I think I want to make it a different faction of something we already have.
yeah. It
And because I could have like there's definitely a couple of times when we could have just had this been like a brand new alien race or whatever, but by making it a different faction of one that we already have, it gets more interesting.
Yeah,
yeah. I think I would go as far as to say I think this game would have been even better if we pushed a little harder and came up with even more constraints for the palette. Like two or three more things, just as other ideas to draw from. I mean, we did
yeah,
fine on our own, but yeah,
yeah. And I honestly, I really liked your uh, like the idea when it came when you made the like Altair planet that was completely separate. Like that was interesting to think about because we had like that was so far gone. We had made the Altair or whatever,
oh yeah,
and
that
then
was like
you
the first thing we did.
yeah.
Yeah, like 2 hour or literally 3 hours ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and to be able to just pull back from that and say like, oh, okay, I don't need to add a new alien race that is like you know, like has a monastery. I can just use the Yell tier.
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Nick in chat also mentions a good point though, is that there's a balance between creative constraints and freedom in a way that one tends for you to build off what's already existing versus introducing new material. And that
Hmm.
sort of balance between like yeah, like keep just playing with the tools you already have instead of incorporating new tools and finding that sweet spot. Um, I don't have a good answer, or like I'm not really sure what to say to that because I feel like that's such a group dependent kind of thing of like how many ideas are you comfortable with exploring, or like how the constraints of the game, like how long are you playing, or like
Hmm.
Yeah.
how long does it take for you to get bored of an idea.
Well, but I also think that the this game Atlas specifically balances that in that it has the detail and creative phase because details will naturally trend towards adding around what we have,
Yeah,
and creative will naturally trend towards building on what we have.
shit, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep,
I do like the fact that it has those two phases and that it really encourages everyone to add a detail.
yeah,
And specifically says in the rules, if you're not going to add a detail, just say, hey, I've got nothing to add to that. And
totally.
and I think that's a legit option as long as you're not taking it every time. Because if you're sitting there at the table and every time it comes around for you to have a detail to add and you're just like, nah, I'm not going to add anything, then you're losing, like you're losing out on part of the gameplay and everybody else is losing out on your creativity.
Yeah,
So
I
I think
think
it's
I think I elected to not do something the first time only because that's the time I made Duriel's Wall, which basically built into the same thing. It was just like more. I wanted to explore that more.
yeah, that was the
Like,
like the second thing, yeah.
yeah, like that's the only reason why I didn't comment on it, because I realized that my comment was better off being actually a whole thing, as I wanted to explore it.
Right, right. But I also think there's a whole bunch of value in limiting like the creative token
Yeah,
to be like I personally like, and a lot of my additions were just like a planet with a name, and like that was it. Like I didn't make a district or anything like that. Like being able to say, here's this thing, I'm going to give you a tiny bit of it, now you guys run with it, like add details to
yeah,
it,
and
like
see what happens. Yeah, yeah.
tell yeah.
You introduce material um, in a resolution that, like in a fictional resolution or creative resolution that you're comfortable with.
Right.
Yeah, that you want to see. Yeah, the more you get, the more you put, the less, or I guess in other words, the more constraint there is to work around those confines that you put in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that will do it then for this evening. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, for episode 7 of Once Upon a Game, a storytelling variety show, where we've played Tom Fent's Atlas, which is not available yet, but I will put in the show notes ways to contact the author, and he will be able to send you the PDF if you're interested. So there's still an option, but he's still working on it. And I know he's going to be doing like a Patreon or something like that, or a Kickstarter in very, very early 2016. He's like putting up all that kind of stuff, and this will be one of the games that he's working on for that. So I've been your host, Eric. If you're ever interested in playing a story game or being a part of this, follow me here on Twitch and follow me here on Twitter. Well, I will be blasting out, hey, I'm looking for players. So I think that would be probably the best way of finding people and organizing, would just be through Twitter. I know I was trying to do an Excel, like a Google Sheets document, but I think just Twitter would probably be the easiest, and it'll be a first come first serve as long as you got a webcam and microphone and you're free during the time. That'd be great. So that's me. That's how you can play. And now my two best friends that I just played with. So, Kelsa?
Yeah, sure, for sure. I'm here. I like games. Play a lot of board games, a lot of role-playing games, and a number of those role-playing games are on Twitch. So I'm trying to organize a website that will have a schedule of said games, but that's much more difficult than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Yep.
It's been 10 years since I tried to build a website, and I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to get some friends to help me out. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is, follow me on Twitter at Kelsa, or you can follow me here on Twitch, Kelsa Delphi. I try to always host whoever is I'm streaming with, if I'm not the one streaming myself. So
Awesome. Yeah, I should do that. I should learn how to host.
it's stupid easy.
Okay.
You find out what whatever their Twitch channel name is,
Yeah.
and you put /host space their Twitch channel name, and then
Oh.
you hit enter, and then when you're done, you put /unhost.
Oh, that's super easy. Thank you.
Or if their channel goes offline, it automatically exits host mode.
Awesome. And Robert.
Yeah, I'm Robert. I'm Demosthenes everywhere. Twitter is _ between the words. Everywhere else is not. I don't stream, or this is the only game I play online, but I play a lot of games, a lot of RPGs. I'm also amateur designer of games, so watch out. I might have Eric play some of my story games when they're
I would
out.
love to. I would love to
Yes.
play people's story games.
So That's me. I'm an internet person. I exist on the internet to be and have friends. So, yeah, follow me on Twitter, talk to me, hang out with me in Twitch channels all day because that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that
Oh,
will.
sorry, I
Oh,
forgot my thumbs up
yeah. Thumbs up.
because everybody else did that.
Great work, everybody. Good hustle.
Yeah.
Um, thanks everyone for sticking around. Thank you so much, chat, Nick and Leafington, and thank you, Robert and Kelsa again. So that's it. See you guys next Monday at 9 for more story games. Game will be
Yay.
to be determined. Maybe Chronicle, maybe something new entirely. I don't know. We'll see. So follow me on Twitter, and you'll know when I know. So, okay.